Hi, and welcome to this beginner's tutorial on how to build a RAG AI agent using n8n. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a basic RAG system that's going to let you chat with your documents and ask questions about them. So why RAG? Well, RAG is the technique that gives your AI agent access to precise and up-to-date information, as well as data that it cannot otherwise have access to. This is what makes RAG the backbone of most AI agents and why it is important to learn RAG as an AI agent builder. For this tutorial, we're going to be using Mistral for our chat model and embeddings model, as it offers a free API key, and we're going to be using Pinecone for our vector storage, which also offers a free tier. With this setup, you will be able to follow along without any hassle, no need to spend a single cent, no credit card subscriptions or anything like that. All super easy. So with that said, let's dive in and start building this. So the first step here is to log into an n8n account and create a new workflow. We're going to do that by clicking on Create here and choose Workflow. Now, if you don't already have an n8n account, there is a link in the description below that will let you try it out for free. Okay, now that we created our workflow, we're going to start by building the first part of the system, which is going to manage storing the document into our vector storage. And the first thing what we're going to need for that is a manual trigger. So we're going to click on the plus sign here, or you could also click on the plus sign over here. Click that and select manual trigger here. So now we have the trigger that's going to start this workflow by clicking on the test workflow button. Okay, now the next step here is that we want a way to get our documents into n8n. There's multiple ways to do that. One of the easiest way is to just use Google Drive. So for that, we're going to click on plus sign here, and we're going to search for Drive. And we have this Google Drive node here, and we're going to select download file here as the action, because we're going to download the file. And here we're going to leave resource as file, operation as download, and from list here, or from this file list here, you have three choices. You can choose to select one from list, by URL, or by ID. I'm going to use by URL. So we're going to go over to our document. I have a document open here in my Google Drive. So I'm going to copy this URL, clicking over there. I'll go back here and paste it in here. And that's it. Now we're going to test this step. Click on test step over here. And it's now downloading the file. And the file is now downloaded, so we can view it by clicking here. You see, here's the file. So this is the file that I'm going to store in the vector database and that we're going to be using for this tutorial. Okay, now we're going to create our vector storage. To do that, let's go over here, open up a new tab, and go to pinecone.io. And here, if you don't have an account, sign up. Otherwise, click on login, log into your account. After we're logged in, we're going to create our index, which is the same as a database. We're going to click over there on index, create index. And here we can give it the name. I'm just going to call my database. And here we're going to choose the dimensions of our embedding model. So the embedding model is the AI model that handles translating your document into a vector representation, so a numerical representation of the document. And each of these embedding models work on different lengths of vectors. So you need to set up the precise length here of the model you're going to be using. Now, we're going to be using a Mistral model, which does not exist here. So for that reason, we're going to have to set the dimensions ourselves manually. So we're going to click on Configure Dimensions and Metric here. And I know that the model has a dimension of 1024. So I'm going to type in 1024. And the metric here, you see here cosine Euclidean, that's how it calculates the similarity between different vectors. So we're going to leave this as cosine. And serverless, we're going to leave that as so. AWS, we're going to leave that as well. And here, this one as well. The other ones are locked. That's only for paid users. And then we just click on Create Index down here. Now that our database is created, let's go back to our workflow here. Click on this plus sign. And here we're going to search for Pinecone. Pinecone Vector Store. And as an action, we're going to choose Retrieve Documents for AI processing. Well, no, that was wrong. We're going to add documents actually. So insert documents here. And now we're going to go over here and choose from list. Click here and should now load the databases that are available. We just created one called database. So I'm going to select that here. and go out. And now you see that it's red. It's because it's missing something. We have two things missing here, the embedding model and the document toolset. So first, I'm going to click on embedding here. I'm going to choose Mistral. And Mistral only offers one embedding model. It's loading now. Now when it finishes loading, we select Mistral Embed here, which is the only model available. Then we go over here and click on this plus sign here. And here we're going to add a default data loader. Now the data loader here is responsible for loading our document and preparing it for further processing. And as a type of data here, we're going to choose binary, which means that it will handle the document as it is, exactly with its data exactly as it is. And as the mode here, we're going to choose load all input data. We don't want any specific data, but we want the whole document and everything. And data format here is going to automatically detect our document. If it's a text document, a Word document, etc., it's going to automatically detect that for us. So we're going to leave that as is. I'll get out of here. And here's going to need a text splitter. So we're going to click on this plus sign. And here we have a different text splitter. So what is the text splitter? What's its responsibility? Well, when we're going to embed the document and try to transform it into a vector representation, the embedding model has a context limit. Just like a chat model, it can't handle any type of document. So we need to split our document into smaller chunks. And for that, there are different types of splitting of how you split the document into chunks. So one of the most popular ones for general documents is this recursive character splitter. So we're going to choose this one. And here we have a chunk size and a chunk overlap. So the chunk size here is each chunk of the document, what the upper limit in tokens that chunk is going to have. So here we're going to set 1000, which is a recommendation for general documents, medium-sized documents like blog posts and so on. And then we have the chunk overlap. The chunk overlap here is when it splits the document into chunks to keep and preserve the context. Sometimes it needs to have an overlap where the end of one chunk is the start of the next chunk so that they are associated with each other in the database. And there's a recommendation to have somewhere between 10 and 20% of the chunk size. So I'm going to set 15 or 150 here, which is 15%. And now we have all the basics for embedding our document. So now let's try this out. Click on test workflow. Now our document should have been embedded into the vector store. So let's go and have a look. So now here inside of Pinecone, you can see our document. It has been split into multiple chunks. So if you scroll down here, you will see there is 10 chunks here. Let's see what the total is. If we go to another tab, or maybe here, top K here refers to how many chunks you're going to retrieve. So let's increase this to something like 50 so we can get as many as possible. And we got up to 44. See here we got 44 chunks. So our document was split into 44 chunks in total. And here is the vector of each. So each chunk has one vector representing it. So basically here you see this one here. This is the vector. This is actually a length of 1024 numbers. So this is one value, this is another value, and this is another value, right? And you got 1024 of these values here in this vector that represents one chunk. And here we have some metadata about the chunk, and you will also see the chunk in pure text stored here. So here is the chunk. It's page 9 of 23, this landing page, etc., etc. Here's another chunk, page 8, and you got another chunk here, page 23, and so on. Okay. So now it's time to go to the next part of the tutorial, where we'll be building the question and answering chain or agent. So for that, let's click on plus sign here and search for chat. and select this chat trigger. Okay, let's move this here maybe. Then click on this plus sign. And here we're going to search for question and answer chain. Click on that. And we just leave this as default. And here we're also going to set up a model and a retriever. So click on this one first, choose Mistral, let this load. And here we have different models to choose them on. By the way, I forgot to mention that if you don't have a Mistral account already, you can create one for free. You got a free tier. It's very straightforward. You go into the settings there, you look for API keys, you create an API key, and then you come here and you paste it in here. That's it, basically. That's how you set up your credentials. I already have mine set up here. Okay, so we choose a model here. Now there's different types of models. The smartest one, which is also the slower one, is Mistral Large. So you can try that one for more complex questions. So for this one, we're just going to search through a document. We can leave it as Mistral Small. And after that, we need the retriever. So let's click here. And here you got different kinds of retrievers. We're going to use a vector store retriever. And the limit here is referring to the limit of how many chunks we want to retrieve from the vector store when you make a query. So we're going to leave that as 4. So it's going to retrieve a maximum of 4 chunks for each query we make. Okay. And now we're going to click down here on the plus sign. And here we're going to choose our vector database. Since we're using Pinecone, we select Pinecone here. And our credentials here, of course, like before, and retrieve. You're going to do retrieve this time because we're going to be retrieving documents from the vector store this time. We're not going to be storing anything. And here from the list, we can choose our database. So there is mine. I called mine database. And that's it, basically. That's all we need here. Let's move this down here, make it a little bit prettier. And now we're going to need to set up an embedding model for this as well. For that, we're going to select Mistral here again. And the only embedding model available. And that's it. Now we have that one set up. Now let's try it out. Click on chat down here. And let's ask it something. Summarize the document. Or, yeah, let's try this one and see what it says. You can see now it starts working here. It goes to the vector store. Pinecone uses Mistral model here. Now it executed successfully, and we get a response here. The document discusses the experiences and strategies of various individuals and businesses, use negative marketing tools, etc., to the social media, protect the Twitter account, which about the audience, etc. Okay, let's go and have a look at our document and see something more specific. So, what's here, right? Okay, so now open the document. Let's look for something more specific here that we want to query about. So if you scroll down here, you see we have, I'll scroll up back here again. And we got some case studies, AJ Bombers, ROI from social media events. So let's query the database about AJ Bombers. So go back to the workflow and say, type, tell me about the results of AJ Bombers. So now it has responded to us with this text here. AJ Bombers, a burger restaurant in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, etc., etc. Now this text here is a generated response, which is based on what's in the database. This is not exactly word for word what's in the database. So here's what actually happened. The first step here is it goes to the vector store. If you open this up, you see that the first step here is the embeddings Mistral cloud here. So it takes our query here, tell me about the results of AJ Bombers as an input, and then the embedding model translates that query into a vector. So you see these a lot of numbers here. This is the vector representation of our query here. Tell me about the results of AJ Bombers. Then it takes that vector and to the vector store, and it queries the vector store for the org four most similar chunks, vectors to our query. So the four chunks that has vector representations that are most semantically similar to our query. And then it retrieves those four vectors, those four chunks that are represented by those vectors. And here in the output, now you can see those four chunks that were retrieved. So first one here was this restaurants when he read the permission, blah, 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 tweet this book. Then we have another chunk here on the page content, page 11, AJ Bombers ROIs from social media events. We'll have another one, page 13, today Twitter is so important to AJ Bombers. And then we'll have a fourth chunk here, N-based restaurant event, during the event, more than 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. And just so you know, if you don't know about this slash and n here means new line. There's a character that represents a new line. Okay. Now, after that, it has retrieved now the four chunks. It uses the Mistral chat model and has a prompt template here that says, use the following pieces of context to answer the user question. If you don't know the answer, just say that you don't know. Don't try to make up an answer. And then it inserts those four chunks as context here. So here's one chunk, and we got another chunk. Here's a third chunk, and then we got the fourth chunk here. And then it generates a response to us based on this prompt template here with the chunks as context. And we get this response here. AJ Bombers, a burger restaurant in Milwaukee that you see here on the left side. So this is basically it, a basic RAG system that I hope helped you understand what RAG is better. If you did, please leave a like and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future AI and automation content specifically using n8n. And until next time, take care.